Yo, and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. Happy Sunday. I don't do a ton of Sunday videos. I'm sure most of you guys are getting ready to watch playoff football for the rest of the day, as am I. But I wanted to do this real quick because I have a story that I never thought I'd see. I didn't think it would ever happen. I had a card that I want to tell you about the odyssey of this card, because the post office actually did something right. I know it's crazy to think about. None of us really want to believe it, but it actually happened, and it unbelievable. So I have a card I'm going to show you in a minute because I have the card. I'll show it. I had a card that I sent off to the Nolan Ryan Foundation, which is a very common practice for a lot of people. You can send to Nolan's Foundation $75. He will sign pretty much anything and you'll get it back. So when I do that, I put the card in a big bubble mailer, and I put the return, you have to put a return envelope in there, as a small bubble mailer with I'll have go to the post office and I'll have them put a tracking number on it so that I can track it so I know where it is. Sent it off back in, I want to say September-ish time frame of 2023. He signs, I think, once a quarter, something like that. So I knew it, it depends on when it gets there. Is it at the beginning or the end? And I don't know. I know usually it takes months, so not a big deal. Wasn't in a hurry to get it or anything like that. But it was a card that I really wanted signed. And I only send stuff to Nolan for his foundation that are unique items, and you'll see what it is again later. So that's not the interesting part about this, is the card itself. It's the journey that this card went on. So sometime in early January, I think the 6th or the 7th of January, I got an email from the Nolan Ryan Foundation. Hey, your card is done. It's on the way back to you. Great. So I grab my little tag that has my tracking number for the return envelope, and I look at it, and it's like Round Rock, Texas. Great. It's exactly where it should be. Round Rock to Fort Worth is not very far. You could drive there in 3 hours. So I was expecting the card the next day, maybe the day after that at the most. In fact, Chris, Hall of Fame Pullers, had sent off he had some things that were signed by Nolan at the same, I guess, sit down, and he got them back in a few days. And I'm like, I don't have my deal. And I checked it, and it had gone. I need to look at this because I have the tracking pulled up behind me here, or in front of me. It was in Round Rock on the 9th, goes to Austin. Not surprising, a big distribution center, bigger city. Then it goes to Houston, which is kind of out of the way. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Goes to Houston, gets there on the 10th. So the next day it's in Houston. Leaves Round Rock on the 9th, gets to Houston on the 10th. And then crickets, absolute crickets. Every day I'm checking it, nothing updating on the tracking, nothing moving. Okay, sometimes things get bogged down. There was a holiday in there, bad weather, all kinds of things can delay a package. But after 9 days with zero movement, I got concerned. As you can imagine, it was just like, what's going on? So I did something I've never done before, and this is a kind of maybe a little hint to the rest of you. I went on the USPS website and I filed a missing mail claim. Not insurance claim, but hey, this item's missing. Here's the tracking number. Here's my information. Honestly, I thought it was a total wild goose chase. I thought there's no way. I'm just doing this just to document that I'm trying to do something, because I genuinely thought I was going to have to make an insurance claim with my collections insurance, because it does cover items in transit. And I was documenting that I basically had done everything possible to try to get this item so that when I made my claim, it would be approved. Not excited about having to do that, by the way. Just another pain in the butt, right? I just want the card. So email goes off to the post office, or claim, I guess it's an email system or a claim system. through their website. Sure enough, like 3 hours later, I get a call from a person at my local post office here. And her name was Dee Dee. She was great. She said, hey, saw your claim. I've looked at, basically they go through their system, which is probably more detailed than they put on their public system, but she found the item. It was in Kingswood, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston. And she's like, I found it. I need to talk to somebody there. I found out where it was last scanned. I need to talk to somebody to find out where it was. It looks like, she goes, I looked at it. They have scans of everything. She's like, I looked at it. Your address is correct. Everything is correct. I don't know why it went there. Okay. She goes, I will let you know later where I get with it. And I'm, first of all, impressed that anyone called me. That was great because you put your contact information in the claim for the missing mail. So she calls, she's super helpful. And sure enough, that was on last Thursday. So what day was that? I don't know what date that was. Let's look real quick, just so I'm not, because I want to get the dates right. There's a calendar behind me. Let's see. The 18th. So last Thursday. Send out the thing, get the response from the post office. Got an email later saying, hey, we're working on this. Okay, great. Later that day. So I feel like, okay, maybe I'll get lucky and they'll find this card that's floating in the abyss of the U.S. Postal Service. Not only did they later find it, they let me know that it would be delivered the next day. And it came in on Friday to my house from Houston. So I ended up getting the card. And then I got an apology email from the U.S. Postal Service saying, we're really sorry about that. Apologized. Hope you'll trust us with your future mail needs, packaging needs. A, they found it. B, they did something about it, or I requested it. They did something about it and it got resolved. And I'm a happy camper. I've just never seen that happen. I've never tried the missing mail system. I now regret not doing that previously when I've lost things before. And just super happy to have the card. So kudos to the USPS. I've got now a compliment to give them. I want to give kudos when they're due. So good job to them. Thank you, Dee Dee, for helping me. She will never watch this, but in the world, I'm putting it out there that I'm thanking her. Yeah, let's look at the card that created all the hubbub, and hopefully you like it as much as I do. Hang on one second. Actually, before Nolan Ryan, I got to show a card that I got from JT. I finally got an Adolis Garcia autograph for the Rangers World Series team collection that I'm going to start working on. Love that. This is Archives, I guess. Let me see. No, Platinum. Topps Chrome Platinum. So love that. 53 design, on-card auto. So yeah, Adolis, key part to the Rangers World Series. And here is the card in question. This is 2023 Dick Perez Diamond Immortals. This was a special set that I've shown videos that I've shown cards like this. I've already gotten the Carlton signed through the mail. I'm getting the Mike Schmidt signed at a signing in a month or so. Because there's not there's 6 or 8 people still living that are in this set. And again, I'm anything Dick Perez, I'm the guy. Ooh, there's the Nolan Ryan sticker on it. Look at that. Numbered to 499. And he signed right there in blue Sharpie. I'm not a huge fan of autos on cards that have a facsimile autograph on them already, but they didn't ask me on the design of the card, so it is what it is. Still a great picture, great image of Nolan. He is an immortal, and it's now signed. So happy to have this back in my collection. This isn't a card that I could have gotten another one. I could duplicate this. It would just be a major hassle. And I already had one. I wanted it signed, and here we go. This will now go onto the stack, the huge stack of cards that I'm sending off to PSA DNA to get slabbed up. I want this thing slabbed up. Again, not for the authenticity, but just because I like slab cards. That's all there is to it. Okay, so that's it. That's the odyssey of this sucker. I'm glad it made it home to me and safe and sound. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. Go watch some football. See you guys later. Keep collecting.